Fellow residents and businesses, welcome to the very first episode of Bay Connect, presented to you by the Nelson Mandela Bay Municipality. I am your host, Zukhanye Ngcwayi, and in this platform, we will unpack council resolutions, we will unpack upcoming investments to the metro, and present to you how all of this is beneficial to your needs as our residents. Today, I am joined in studio by our Executive Mayor, Cllr Babalwa Lobishe, to just really have a conversation about this month of tourism. What does that look like for our city? What does it mean or require of our city to do? And in hindsight, also reflect on the very past events that we have invested in, that we have hosted, and what they have done and brought into our local economy. Joining me today, Executive Mayor, welcome to our show.
Thank you very much, Zukhanye, and greetings to all the residents that are watching.
How are you feeling today, Mayor? How has the week looked for you?
Well, the week was quite hectic because there was traveling from the party assignments, and also coming back into the city. I had to interface with all of what we have left off last week as the mayoral committee. One would remember part of the tasks that we wanted to conclude this week was to calculate how and also make an integrated plan on the informal settlement, how we wish to service our informal settlements. And this is part of what we deem necessary, because without us having a comprehensive plan and a phased-out approach on how best do we deal with informal settlements, we will be unable to really have a feel of the costs that are ahead of us, and also the collection of our city. So on Wednesday we took the whole day as mayoral committee, interfacing with that, looking at the safety master plan for the city, and also looking at how do we deal with the outcomes of our audit, and how best do we attend to the revenue of the city. And I'm very sure that in the next Wednesday we should be having better outcomes from what we have, from the instructions we gave after interfacing with all of that.
All right. We're actually moving quite fast, Mayor, but on that note of efforts for our revenue collection or generation, we have also put in place an initiative called the Debt Relief for Abahlali Bethu, right? Please speak to that and expound to that, and how we are using this initiative, one, to encourage residents, right, to pay or settle their municipal account, but the greater impact of it, itini kanye kanye.
Well, you know, our residents have not been doing well in terms of attending to their debts, and hence we made a call of saying they must come forward and negotiate, so that we are able to know who we must assist, who is also seated with a challenge of being wrongly billed. And part of what we have achieved is to have 3 new service providers that are in place, who are going to be collecting our debts. So on the 1st of October, they are supposed to be starting to be given the municipal books, so that collection can start to happen through those service providers, and its revenue on its own that should be generated from that particular exercise. Because more than the businesses, it's households that are owing us a lot. And we must also note and also inform residents that the punitive charges were dropped by the municipality, which made those who are owing us not to pay. They actually discouraged. It was an exercise that was done during the COVID period, and that's when we lost a lot of money when we were exercising that particular decision. And we are of the view that with us having withdrawn in council those punitive tariffs, we should be seeing residents coming forward. They are not coming forward. And we've got to derive other means to source our money. You can't utilize services and not want to pay. And all the money we have must be the money that we get from collection of revenue. There are many streams of collection of revenue from the buildings we have, from rates and taxes, from fines that we put across, and we are quite certain that we should be looking at a positive trajectory, which should be culminating from our Wednesday meeting. Because even on safety department, we have taken a decision of opening these new other courts, resourcing and opening them. But we said bi-weekly we'll be meeting as the mayor. I'll be meeting with the safety and security management, so that I closely monitor our decisions, so that law can be entrenched in the city, and we are able to walk freely. And on the other side, we smile on revenue generation.
On that note, Executive Mayor, can you please also then show us, or maybe outline, the connections to e-People's budget, Lena, that we had just passed recently, right? With the amount of 21.6 billion that was granted to us. This is money that we have to spend into the advancement of our service delivery, accelerating what is already there and also needs to be advanced. Is there a direct correlation to that spending and we're not collecting as much revenue that we should be? Or where as a resident can you feel encouraged to be part of the solution as opposed to the problem?
Well, in terms of our collection rate, I must say we are at 71%. So it's not like we are going down. But 71 is not enough. We should be collecting up to 99%. Also noting the fact that we have already identified those that are on the assistance to the poor program. But in terms of collection, we can't be comfortable with 71%, and majority of those that are not paying are residents more than the businesses. So coming to the people's budget, I am of the view that having listened to our people during the IDP processes on them not wanting water rolling down the street, sewer going down the street, litter being all over, and as well them wanting access to water, and also roads being built, crime being lessened. Those are all possibilities. And it's what is enshrined in Chapter 7 of the Constitution as objects of the local government. We've got to deliver on that, because it just depicts why we are here. And I'm of the view that with all the priorities that we have put across, we can be able to deliver such with the help of our committees sitting, and all of them are sitting currently. So there's government is running as it should be running. The only impediment on us is spending on the grants. And even on the spending on the grants, we were seated at 64% in the last financial year. Part of the hindrances on that is the lack of a project management unit. And we are taking that item to the next council for us to headhunt and have the system going, so that we don't have an excuse during the quota assessment. We have people who are there who are going to cost the projects, manage the projects that are on all the grants that we receive. So that no money is returned. And by the way, the money was returned under sanitation, water and sanitation department. The money was returned under your warmer project, the building of houses, because there's an impasse between us and community. The land which we are supposed to build on is invaded. And when we sought legal recourse on people that have invaded to be moved so that we build houses for those that want to be built houses, they took us to court through legal aid. So what do? Our interest is for us to build for our people. And I think communities must help us, because if the land that is earmarked for development is invaded, it becomes a delayed project, and it does not guarantee that we can, in the next financial year, retain the same amount of money. We are proceeding with rectification of houses. The grant has arrived. 600 units are in the pipeline. We've already launched 30 that has already been built in Ezinyoka, Govenbeki, 2 weeks back. And across the city, we are seeing that happening. Your Ward 57 is part of the wards that is getting rectification. Ward 54. So all the areas that are earmarked for rectification is coming with what we have been given by provincial government. But I must say, in terms of the water leakages, we are doing our best daily to make sure that the service is done, because we do not want our people to be subjected in dire situations, and even attending to water and sanitation challenges. We are attending to all of what comes on our ear.
Okay. So Dolop, you have outlined, right, the efforts that we are going through or going to curb and fix and rectify as much as we can. However, sipinda sibanale war on crime that we have, vandalism, for example, right? It's all good and well that we make these plans, so good and well that we implement and execute. However, we still have vandalism as this huge issue that continues to set us back. What can we say to our residents to ensure that the efforts and the executions that are set in place remain the way that they are? They are enhanced, right, for the good of our municipality, of our metro, without having to come back in the future.
Well, this has 2 elements. I think it has ignorance on it, because when we cut the ribbon and say we are handing over an asset to the community, it no longer becomes ours, but it's a shared asset between us and the community. And we want to make a call to our communities that we are setting ourselves back. And most of these facilities, when they are down, people lose jobs, because there's a caretaker, there's a cleaner, there are activities running in those halls.
It's a ripple effect.
So it has a ripple effect, which is a disadvantage to the entire community, because in a hall, it's where we are doing funerals, it's where we are making our baby showers, our weddings and everything. And it's not the mayor's function that is going there, it's the community function. And if you are looking at the roads, once a road is having potholes from a bent tire, we have to redirect funds to fix that particular pothole. And whilst it's not fixed, it's our cars that are going past there. And it's a problem now, not only of government, but also the community. So how we wish we can discourage our people from damaging public assets and amenities, so that we are able to have decent looking communities. But as well, our plan to fight this vandalism is in 3 phases. One, on the fact that in an area where we know we have an asset, we are planning to have devices that are going to also be looking at sensing when and what is happening in our properties, instead of only relying on warm bodies. But as well, part of what we have achieved is to set aside our challenge with a company that was to roll out cameras in 2011 in the city. So we could not acquire our own cameras whilst the contract matter was not concluded in court. So we have concluded the matter, so it's for us to report back to council. So it means the rollout of new cameras in the city can happen. But the third element is that already we had engagements and agreements with local businesses to have shared monitoring of our areas. Because we do have private security companies that have cameras all over. So once we have them in one, it's easy for us to see what is happening where, and already that process has taken place. But we know there are areas they are not covering, mostly in the location. So our target will be to roll out in the location where we have no access to monitoring the movements, and then we can be able to have a safer city in that manner.
Okay, so Tolobo, it's all good and well, we are installing these devices or these cameras. We have this burning issue on the side, which is asna lights, right? I remember from one of our media houses, there was an article that came out and called us Gotham City, right? So in fixing or rectifying this situation, of street lights. We are driving in the dark.
On the street lights, if you can go to M4, M4 has been fixed more than I don't have even 10 months. I don't even have 10 months here. But M4, if we can just take only one road, M4 has been fixed more than 3 times. And every time we fix it, the following 3 days, the lights are down. Cables are stolen. And we are not going to tie up, because we must be able to catch those who are culprits. But we are looking at more advanced ways of securing those lights, so that they are not vandalized every time. And the other matter is that there are new service providers whose agreement is to be finished by Friday, which is today,
the 19th of September.
So we should be having new service providers, which we hope they are going to be able to live to what we wanted as a new means of making sure that there's no access to that open a door, if I can call it a door, on the
pole
poles.
itself. Okay.
Because the problem is that part.
So this is strictly for the major roads, okanye in our communities as well?
It's for the main roads,
Yes.
even in our areas.
Yes. All right.
For the main roads, even in the areas, because we do have the maintenance unit of electricity, but there are lights that needs a specialization when they are being satellite.
All right, Executive Mayor, that's a satisfactory answer for me. I think let's quickly pivot. Mayor, we are in September. Well, September is the month of tourism and heritage, right? We have a very robust tourism industry or activity up in our metro. If I can even count to the previous months, we have looked and hosted international quality events like a G20. We have hosted INACAM 2025 recently in August, 2-day event, right? National event for the automotive sector, a very first for our province, very first for our city as a Nelson Mandela Bay Municipality. Itukuthini Londo about how the Metro Nelson Mandela Bay Municipality has successfully positioned itself to be this premier or preferred destination of choice.
Well, we even have the Auto Week coming on.
Still the Auto Week coming
in
yes,
October. We have been positioning ourselves as a conferencing destination.
Yes.
Hence, we have been affiliating with the bureau so that we are able to law in all these major events for job creation in the hospitality industry, and as well to make sure that whenever these tourists are here, they are able to see what we have to offer. We might be known as being the crime capital, but all the events that have been hosted are incident free. So we are managing to try and find ways of dealing with criminals. And it's going to be more aggressive in the near future. And I think hosting NACAM for the first time was quite exciting because we had more than 800 delegates from across, from all over the world. And as well, it meant that as an automotive hub, we're able to have discussions about the future of the auto sector and how best do we assist the industry, its growth, and how best do we assist in supporting the component sector of the automotive sector. So NACAM on its own has brought a lot of economic spin-offs to approximately a tune of 16.5 million.
Wow.
So we are quite happy and we're looking forward to the auto sector coming. And
the SA Auto Week. SA Auto Week.
Your SA Auto Week.
Yes.
Sorry. And being in September always comes with excitement because it's a Pride Month for many ethnic groups, and it's a month that we are able to recognize that we can co-live in as much as we are embracing our different cultures, but what matters is the humankind. So that's what brings us together as South Africans, and as well that's what proves that we are a special country.
Yes.
And we have already rolled out the Tourism Month program, which had many aspects on it, but to just pat ourselves on the back was the workshop that we held at the university.
Tourism in Bizo.
Yes, which was meant for us to be able to interface with the sector players, hear them out on how do we preserve the local products, how do we develop new ones, and how do we feed our tourism master plan for us to have this destination as the best destination in the country. So we are looking forward to next year, because all what we have been engaging on this year, we will still have 12 months to make sure that in next September we are able to say we've achieved this from starting from the launch of that Imbizo.
And where we can even further polish and improve, right? Ayondwinjanyani Mayor, we host international events, Ironman, G20 I've mentioned. NICAM is groundbreaking, so I'm going to keep emphasizing that. SA Auto Week is coming. All of these big events, Sisene Ebubeleni, Ezayo, right? So I really think that reinforces the positioning of our metro as a premier destination of choice. All right. Honing in more on our tourism month, especially for October, we have just mentioned that we are anticipating and preparing for the SA Auto Week, right? Which again, we are reinforcing ourselves as the automotive hub of the country. We also have the G20 returning. This time, either the Trade and Investment Work Task Force having their meetings around the 7th until the 8th of October. Mayor, what is our game plan in making sure that we take away as much as we can in how we position ourselves for future investments that will pour into the beneficiation of our residents and our businesses, right, in the metro?
Well, if one was following our resolution, we have been requesting that we have a side discussion on how we look at the vision of the city and how we want trade missions, to identify trade missions through looking at the revised vision of the city, because it has not been revised for about 8 years and plus. So we are to be able to look at how best do we bring new investments that are going to come up with investments in the city. We know that we have been approached a lot by companies that want to be independent power producers, but we have been discussing that a lot, but it's not enough. We are still of the view that with having new market malls and settlements, and also looking at having a dedicated mission of going out of our country and looking for investors, whether those investors are going to be coming and maximizing on the maritime sector, which we have not explored fully, or also looking at our advantage in terms of us not exploring the food processing, your agricultural processing, which we have not explored fully, and looking at the fact that there's so much open land for agriculture, and we have not explored that to the advantage of the city. So we have not maximized mainly on the natural endowments that we have. We are a wool capital, but
for more hair.
Have we looked at other means or the value chain of that for the benefit of our people and looking at factories that can be located here, utilizing the very same wool. So it's investments that we've got to look at for us to be able to anchor our city as an employment hub for the whole of this Eastern Cape. So this is what is in the pipeline for us, and we are going to go hard in making sure that we realize that, because we've promised our people job creation and we can't move back. Now it's for us to realize that.
Okay, lovely, Mayor. Thank you so much. Ndifuna ke siphinde sibuyele nakule debt relief, because it's a very important subject ezawunceda abantu bethu nayo. Ithini i-deadline for umhlali ohleli endlini, just so you can get an understanding of when the deadline of this initiative is, how you can qualify to be identified as one of the people who can benefit from the debt relief program.
30th of September we should be closing this, so that we consolidate for the council of October in terms of presenting how much has been written off and how much has been made on the commitments that have been put forward by our residents. So where I am, we're unable to say this is how much we have gained, because remember, when you go to negotiate, you are negotiating to pay it over a certain period. So and we have not quantified how many of our debtors has came forth, but after the end of September there should be a close-off report which will be tabled in council.
All right. Thank you so much, Executive Mayor. Thank you for giving us your time to come sit up in your office to just have a chat with you about from the first citizen, what is actually happening in our metro. All right, Bahlali, viewers at home, thank you so much for joining us on our very first episode of Bay Connect. For the next episode, we will reach out to many more political leadership, to our officials, to really talk and expound on the future plans that we have for the advancement of the Nelson Mandela Bay Municipality. I am your host, Zukhanye Ngcwayi. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time, same place. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. The name is Nelson Mandela Bay Municipality, and keep up on our social media platforms to stay tuned on the future updates. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.